10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. My name is Dragon Drop, and this is the WePlay League Season 3. We are on to our American division here. The Power of Friendship takes on Team Archon, a North American duel here. Even though we've got a couple of standards here on the side of POF, I'm still happy to have this game to be able to show you, as it should still be a pretty decent one. Archon, probably the favorites going into this year with some decent success over the past couple of days, but hey, Power Friendship, don't count them out just yet. Both of these teams could you really use a win in the group stage so far, both of them at 1-3, so it's not the best record, but hey, we'll see what happens today. My co-caster for the night is once again Android, also known as Annie. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing super good. Super excited to get into the NA region. Gotta represent my home turf, and certainly Archon and Power of Friendship are two of the strongest teams so far, so let's see how they match up against each other.
Yeah, I already see Archon taking a little bit of time in their draft. They have a little bit of extra bonus time as Power of Friendship was a little bit late. Of course, they've been playing with Slicks for the past couple of games, so he's kind of a common stand-in here. Ziz, though, joined them only today, just a little bit late to the party. That's why they got a little bit of a draft penalty going there. But Team Archon, taking quite some time banning out the Earth Spirit because they really know that way too likes to run that hero apparently.
Yeah, he's run it a lot, and his win rate is super incredible on it. If we go back to Ziz, he was the carry on Complexity at TI5, and he was on Leviathan for a brief stint, so this guy certainly making himself known in the NA scene, and, well, now he's standing in for Power of Friendship, and let's see what he can do there.
Yeah, so this Enchantress first pick. I mean, we don't have to talk too much about the bans, I suppose, unless you want to bring up something specific, but this Enchantress is only something that I've seen in the American scene. Why do you think that is?
I think I've actually seen Enchantress in the CIS scene and in the SEA scene during the Shanghai qualifiers. I think she can get into a lane, she's super survivable, and once it comes to late game, when she has that max untouchable, it is really, really hard to lock her down and take her out of the fight, and obviously the impetus can be absolutely lethal from far away, especially if she builds up that Dragon Lance. And as far as Team Archon goes, Moo loves to play that Enchantress in the off lane, very high win rate on that as well, so hopefully going to be him picking that up, but Power of Friendship, maybe looking to punish it with Invoker, who has some really nice crowd control.
Yeah, absolutely. Invoker is one of these kind of more common heroes that we see up against the Enchantress. Well, in general, it's obviously very strong one to pick up, very versatile, can run him in any sort of capacity. Is always going to be able to bring you a lot of control and also damage, and also burst damage if you go for a quasi-exort route with the Sunstrike that you really, really need to finish off the Enchantress. And yeah, Bane to go with that. Pretty solid pick as well, able to stabilize the lane if you should need some help in mid lane, set up Sunstrikes all across the map. I really like this opening from POF here.
10 seconds
yeah, I think they have really strong potential for ganks, but the Bane pickup isn't really that common for them, just in terms of what their supports have picked up before. We see Mario, who's not going to be playing in this one, usually picking up the Disruptor Undying, and Way Too Sexy usually likes that Earth Spirit, Tusk, Chen, Dazzle, so it's really not common for them to pick up the Bane, but I think it can combo very, very well, especially if they get another hero with a lot of team fight lockdown.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, Bane doesn't necessarily fit into the mold of, as you said, like the Earth Spirit, these kind of heroes or tasks that kind of want to run around, make flashy plays, but can still, as you said, set up for everything else. And yeah, speaking of the task, Team Archon actually pick it up, and I want to say it's been a while since I've seen that hero being played, actually, because maybe just because there's so many other heroes that people like to play and try out, but the Tusk, he hasn't been nerfed too hard, and he's still doing what it does quite well, I would say, which is roam around the map and be a nuisance.
Such a nuisance, like you brought up. It looks like that's going to be a Whitebeard Tusk. That's a hero he likes to play a lot. You've mentioned it's a super strong initiator, and Team Archon, their playstyle is really all about picking up one big, strong core, taking it way late game, and building up incredible team fight around that core. Tusk is certainly a way to get that started. Snowball Ice Shard's initiation is pretty hard to beat.
Yeah. So in terms of cores, what are you thinking here? I mean, obviously we see a couple already banned out with Lone Druid, Faceless Void, and now the Gyrocopter, so Juggernaut's still in the pool if they don't ban it out, Spectre's still in the pool. What kind of liner do you think Archon is going for? Do they just want to go for the hard farming Spectre
10
or something
seconds
else?
remaining.
Well, I think Archon, they do typically like to pick up that one
5
huge
seconds
core and build their
remaining.
lineup around that. I'm not quite sure. They could potentially pick up, the Drow,
Reserve
the
time.
Juggernaut still in the pool, like you mentioned. They've run the Morphling recently, as well as the Gyrocopter, which is banned out.
Dire
But I
team
think the
ban.
Morphling might actually be a pretty solid hit pick here. Hard to lock down, able to Remnant all around the map, or not Remnant, my goodness, the little water dude all around the map to get some hard
Yeah.
farming potential, clearing out the lanes, and definitely going to be hard to get a hold of and clear out.
Yeah, that is
10
absolutely true.
seconds
So
remaining.
yeah, we'll see if they want to go for that. Same time, Power French, and
5
then Enigma
seconds
ban.
remaining.
A little bit curious, I think, because that's the hero that we have seen every once in a
Reserve
while
time.
come out. They can still make these kind of big plays if you manage to get a good black hole. Do you think it's just to make sure
Dire
that
team
it's
pick.
yeah? I don't know. Do you think that's that's just to make sure that Archon can just do what they want to do in terms of running at them, not having to fear this big BKB piercing lockdown? That, especially since the Power Friendship already have the Bane for that on a single target.
Absolutely. I think they want to get the Enigma out of the pool because that's something that can really hinder Archon's team fight. They don't want to have to be afraid to just charge 5-man into Power of Friendship.
10
And,
seconds
well,
remaining.
when there's no black hole on the field, that's a little bit easier to think about.
5
If
seconds
you
remaining.
look at Power Friendship's secondary bans now in the second phase, we do see the Death Prophet as well as the Lina ban. Both of those
Reserve time.
obviously very strong mid heroes. And Archon hasn't picked up the mid yet, unless they want to run the Enchantress there or something silly. And especially with the Bane, that should put a lot of pressure on them, right? I mean, what kind of mid do you still go for here? I mean, it's still OD, there's still Viper. Do these work against Invoker?
On the side of Archon?
Yeah.
Well, I think their mid guy's going to be Slicks here, and I think you can pick up the Lina, which was banned out already, but the Quap and the Razor are still picks that he's gone with before, and I think that can be very strong. We are going to have a Night Stalker pick up here. I think that's going to be in the off lane. So I think that can be very, very strong. Going to be a very controlling gank lineup here on Power of Friendship. They're going to go in and they're going to get kills right away.
Yeah, it could be the offlane, could be the 4-position way to hero, just countering out the tasks. The kind of problem is that you are only good half the time. That being said, though,
10
Tusk needs a
seconds
couple of
remaining.
levels to really get going. Night Stalker does as well, but once the
5
first nighttime
seconds
hit, he's gonna
remaining.
have his level 3 or level 4 at least, depending on how much experience he saps and stuff like that. And at that
Reserve
point,
time.
he can be much
Templar
more effective than a
assassin.
Tusk can be. So
Dire team
that's
pick.
something that you have to look out for, and that's something potentially that puts a lot of extra pressure on the middle lane here for Team Archon. They pick up the Templar Assassin, which is a good choice, I think. Fairly defensive and fairly survivable up against the Invoker, who doesn't have too much damage over time early on.
Yeah, I love this Templar Assassin pick. Probably going to be played by Monkeys Forever here in the mid lane. Power of Friendship, though, they pick up a Darkseer, which is a much more typical offlaner, so this is probably going to be a position for Night Stalker. Definitely roaming around with the
10
Bane,
seconds
trying to get early
remaining.
lockdowns, early kills, but like you mentioned, he's very reliant on the nighttime, so once
5
daytime rolls
seconds
around,
remaining.
Power of Friendship lose a little bit of their kill power.
Yeah. That being said, though, with the Darkseer and the Night
Reserve
Stalker,
time.
plus the Bane setting it up, they have so much kill power during nighttime that it's almost more than worth it, above average, I would say, because you're not just gonna have a Night Stalker running at you, it's gonna have Surge, so even more movement speed outside of the Hunter of the Night. It's gonna have an Iron Shell to take you down wherever you go. It's also gonna make it hard for TA if that's the combo, that if they can make that
10
kind of stuff work,
seconds
to
remaining.
just rely on Refraction to stay alive. So now they're gonna go for
Dire
Timbersaw,
team
highly
ban.
mobile hero. It's not one that I have seen in a while, but I really like it here. A lot of burst, a lot of mobility, and just solid, straight up solid here for Team Archon.
Yeah, I think Team Archon, their strategy right now is just kind of avoid the
10
gank
seconds
lineup the Power
remaining.
of Friendship are going to be throwing at them. So Timbersaw, super mobile, just Timber Chain out of anything
5
spooky, and
seconds
well, he'll be
remaining.
good to go. He can definitely be survivable in lanes, build up some items, grab that Bloodstone, and carry into the late game
Reserve
here.
time.
The one thing though that kind of throws me a loop here is the kind of lanes that Team Archon want to go for now, because Timbersaw usually did that offlane position, which I would have thought the Enchantress to want to grab hold of. Is this just a jungle Enchantress, solo support Tusk, and then perhaps a safe laner, or is that going to be a one position Timbersaw?
I'm thinking we're still going to see a safe laner here. I think Team Archon want to pick up a super stable farming core. Obviously, they have some wiggle room for this. I wouldn't actually be surprised to see 2-1-2 lanes and throw Timbersaw and Enchantress together in the off lane, but she certainly can just kind of sit in the jungle, grab some creeps, get that level 6, and go hunting.
5 seconds remaining.
Alright, 5 more seconds until Power of Friendship have to show us the next ban. It's gonna be the Medusa. Well, think about hard farming cores, that's definitely one of them. Maybe not the one that is the most popular these days, but hey, it's out of the pool now, so... I mean, I guess they could have still picked up an anti-mage if Archon really would have picked a Medusa.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I mean, anti-mage is potential. I'm not sure Team Archon were going to go for the Medusa. I think Medusa's one of those heroes that does pretty well with the babysitter, and, well, Archon, they don't really have any babysitters on their lineup right now.
Yeah. Kind of also precludes a Spectre here, so I'm still thinking Juggernaut, just also still in the pool, or maybe in something like a Slark. Once again, highly mobile, able to get out of tough situations, and if you see the Bane coming, if you see the Night Stalker coming, you can get the Dark Pack going, just to make sure that a Nightmare or a Silence from Night Stalker is not gonna ruin your day.
10 seconds
So,
remaining.
something I'm looking for a Team Archon right now. Power
5
Friendship, they
seconds
still
remaining.
need a one-position core themselves. They can have similar kind of thoughts, but they're gonna go with the
Team
Morphling here. As you
Archon's
said,
turn to
very
pick.
mobile. With his ultimate here, if he uses this properly, he can split push people to death, he can blow people up. The question is he gonna get off the ground? I guess Darkseer, Night Stalker, and Bane should give him plenty of covering fire.
Yeah, I mean, it depends where the Morphling is and where he's laning up against. If Morphling's up against an Enchantress, well, he's going to have a pretty yucky time. We've got a Pugna on the field here. Okay, that Pugna's going to be played by Jo, so it is going to be a core Pugna. And that's going to be in the safe lane, most likely.
I have not seen a core partner in a long time, but I can tell you it can be super ridiculous. I mean, there's not too much obvious combinations with it. Nothing like a Scar of Mage to just be able to blow someone up with your a kind of two-hero shotgun combo that Morphling could build up himself with the E-Blade and his nuke. So you kind of have a similar thing with the partner, the Grapplify and any sort of magical nuke. But still, it's giving them a lot of extra push on top of the Enchantress. And yeah, it just enables them to kind of try and fight back. I'm a little bit worried
10
though,
seconds remaining.
because it's still a Night Stalker. He's quite tanky. Darkseer can run
5
rings around you.
seconds
Same for the
remaining.
Bane. There's just so much burst as well from Power of Friendship that if the partner does get caught out, he's gonna be food.
Absolutely, you said it.
All right.
Something to note, this is going to be a support Enchantress, most likely, as, well, the offlaner is going to be playing Timbersaw, so looks like our Enchantress will not be going in that very powerful offlane position that we see in NA so often. It's going to be played by Fluff and stuff, and, well, maybe that'll be a little babysitter.
Alright, and with that, let us once again welcome you if you're just tuning in. My name's DragonDrop, I'm joined by Annie, and this is the WePlay League Season 3, our first American game of the night. We're gonna have Shazam versus Enemy GG after this one, but for now we've got Archon versus Power of Friendship. Let's take a look at the lineups. We've got Jo here on the partner in the core position, Whitebeard on that task, looking to snowball, Monkeys Forever playing that mid-Templar Assassin, good Fluff and stuff, as you mentioned, on the jungling / roaming Enchantress, and that only leaves Moo on the safe lane Timbersaw by the looks of it, so they won't go aggressive here.
Yeah, well, on the side of the Dire, we've got Power of Friendship. Starting things off, we've got MJW on this offlane
30
Darkseer.
seconds to
Here
go.
up towards the top, we've got Way2 on the Bane. Snake King going to be playing that core Morphling. Towards the mid, we've got Slicks as a stand-in mid Invoker. And then finally over here, we've got Zizzy on the Night Stalker.
Alright, so Archon is still thinking about it. Can they actually go aggressive here? I mean, you do have the Enchantress who can aggressively jungle, kind of hard to deal with the big creep early on. But
Battle begins.
I don't know, how do you feel about this? Because Pagna, as I said, he's very squishy.
Oh,
Even
hold
early on,
on
but
here.
way too actually, yeah, caught with the ice shots here. A lot of extra burst damage. So many right clicks come out. That should be the first blood right here. Brains have
Well-
already used, and well, never
Yeah,
mind.
he goes down. He pops down the Sentry Ward just as kind of a last final act, but he does end up going down. He gives the first blood away to the Pugna, so that's going to start off Jo real nice here. Already starting off with boots, mango, and some nice stable regen.
The sentry gets immediately counted out as well, so Fluff does have that big creep available, so they can put on a lot of pressure on sneaking up on the top here whenever they want to, really. And yeah, the bottom lane, it's a Timbersaw. It's gonna be a little bit annoyed by the Darks here, that's for sure, but he's kind of used to that of the offlane position, so shouldn't actually die here with the point into reactive armor and later down the Timber Chain, able to get him out of trouble.
Yeah, here in the top, I think Morphling's going to struggle just a little bit. We see the Enchantress rotating up into the enemy jungle. We've got the Pugna obviously able to put out a huge amount of damage, and then Whitebeard here on the Tusk can absolutely lock down that Morphling. Morphling does level the waveform, so has a little bit of escape there, but, well, that's not a whole lot.
Yeah. I mean, even if you escape, well, you're away from the wave, you're away from experience, away from gold, and this is probably Archon's main goal here in this particular lane. Just shut down the Morphling, make sure that you get off to a good start, get early towers on the back of Enchantress and the Pugna, which is kind of playstyle that you need to go for.
Yeah,
some people say
overall...
that... Yeah, go ahead.
No, it's your turn. Go ahead.
I mean, some people say that if you run a Pugna and the tier 1s are not down by 15 minutes, you're doing it wrong. Right.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, it's a little bit harsh, like you said, but towers are definitely going to be a key component. Here in the bot lane, we've got MJW diving very, very deep under the Radiant tier 1. Moo may be looking to punish that, but just kind of clearing out the creeps, going through, getting some farm here.
Problem for Moo is that he doesn't have a lot of control. As I said, he should be able to stay safe, but he can't really do anything against MJW, just running at him, skipping the creeps with the Iron Shell. Now level 2 as well, so, well, still doing a good job though. Reactive armor, level 2 into it, still has plenty of regen left. Just making sure to use the Timber Chain to get these last hits too, so yeah, he's actually close to the top of the last hit chart as well, just because of all that.
Yeah, well, here in this top lane, we've got a lot of heroes, but not a lot of action as people are just kind of taking it slow, allowing Snaking to get just a little bit of farm. He's been harassed away from the wave most of the time, courtesy of the Enchantress and Tusk on... but now we could see an initiation here as Whitebeard rotating very aggressively up near this tier 1 tower.
The problem is that Fluff doesn't really have the best ganking creeps. They even got himself a Cobalt 4-man, which might actually do the difference here. They get the Snowball on the way to in the back here, ignoring the Morphling altogether. It's probably a good choice, he can't really do much anyway. Bane will force for a second time, and now they turn to the Morphling. He still has a waveform available. So give me another who tries to go for Fluff and stuff, but not quite enough burst damage. But he made his way into the trees, I suppose, so hey. Better stay in there for a while.
Yeah, he's gonna stay in the trees, afraid to show his face because he knows there's a lot of backup here coming out. Now we've got Nightstalker rotating in, maybe looking to go on the Enchantress, but now he gets spooked away. Morphling, well, he's back out of the trees, back under his tower, but Snake King certainly does not feel safe. That Bane has gone down twice now.
He does have a mango, so he does have another waveform if necessary, but once again, he's not getting a whole lot. He's sitting at 3 last hits. And Morphling, not exactly the kind of hero that you think about when you think of comeback and farming potential.
Yeah, I mean, Morphling has to be allowed safe farm, get steady kills throughout the game, pick up some awesome items, and then scale up from there. But, you know, a Morphling doesn't play from behind very well, and here we see Snake King, another initiation here. We're going to see a Snowball connect. Ice Shards are not locking him in, but damn, he's taking some damage here as he morphs up some strength. Allows himself to live through the fight, but, well, he's probably got to head back to base.
Yeah. Well, he has a self, so he wants to stick around a little bit longer, way to his back now, trying to keep him safe. But the one thing that they're looking forward to now is this nighttime. Just went in. Nightstalker, this is only level 2, almost level 3 done with the bounty rune. He will be able to have the 2 points up into the void for that extra bit of burst, and well, perhaps a silence here up against the Timbersaw if that is their target. Meanwhile, top though,
absolutely.
there's a smoke going, Fluff and Whitebeard. There's going
to be a rotation in from the Nightstalker. So this is scouted out a little bit, but it looks like it's still going to go through. The Snowball comes in. Bane is going to get stunned up, trapped in by the Ice Shards. He's trying to get a little bit of help for himself with that Brain Snap, but he ends up going back on the backlines here. We've just got the Dire Courier going to be picked off by the Enchantress Creep, or at least bullied a little bit. And now the tower looks like it could be the target here. Pugna doing what he can, maybe allowing Dire to get the deny here. And I think that's what Nightstalker's going for, but finally it will go down, courtesy that one final Nether Blast.
Also missing the Qualifier on that, it's gotta be hurting, man. Obviously the glyph still refreshes, but well, it just goes to show how hard it is to actually deny up against the Pugna with 3 points up into the Nether Blast. But yeah, I actually also like the way they engaged this. They kind of left Enchantress alone when they saw the Nightstalker around, but Enchantress is the one hero, even now, even without points into Untouchable, just with 2 points up, and oh god, they're gonna go again here, sneaking. Well, it's gonna get stunned up by Enchantress Creep before it expires. Whitebeard going a little bit deep, and now Snowball dodged some of that damage from the waveform. It's going on this. Creeps is there to help him, but he's still all alone. They're running after him. And that should be Tusk going down eventually. Unless he can make some plays, blocking him off at the same time. Well, elsewhere on the map, there's some action as well, but hey, look at this top lane. Whitebeard gets some help from Jo. Now Ziz, well, he's out of mana, he's blocked him by creeps. And he will fall too, so all across the map, Archon is getting kills and kills and kills.
Yeah, this is absolutely Jo's favorite game right now. He's 4-0-1 on the Pug. Now, he's already claimed a tower. He's poised to push the tier 2 anytime he wants. We're going to see another rotation in from the Morphling, but Snake King just having such a tough time farming. He's 8th on the net worth chart. That's not where you want your position 1 carry to be.
I'm gonna go get a Fluff. It does have a Blood Golem here, so do have that little bit of a stun here. Might need a little bit more for the waveform. That being said, though, they've managed to do Snake King in quite well so far. Now with a wraparound, there's a stun here, waveform out, and Fluff right next to him. But he does have tower aggro and he has to get the hell out of there now, especially with this roading in. It is still nighttime. He does have the Archon on top of him, plus the smoke of the seed, so you want to make something happen, but Archon just not giving them the chance.
Yeah, Archon going to be rotating out here, not wanting to get greedy, wanting to play this very calm and collected, and well, that's what they're doing here. The score is 7-0. Archon seems to totally have this game under control. It seems like almost every lane is going in their favor. In the mid, we haven't talked about it so much. It's been a pretty even trade back and forth. In fact, Templar Assassin and Invoker sitting almost evenly on the net worth chart, very comparable to each other, but, well, the top and bottom lanes have just been an absolute war ground.
So, what do you think POF need to do to try and come back into this game? I mean, the plan kind of failed. They haven't been able to set up anything with the Bane just because they've been under so much pressure. And the Night Stalker Nighttime, which is ending right now, has been less than satisfactory, to say the least. I mean, he's still sitting at level 3. Hasn't really been able to find an opening either, so what is their way back into this going into the mid-game?
Well, I'd say Smoke Gangs, but we saw that first one was not so successful. I think they need to keep trying it every single nighttime. They need to get a pick. But speaking of picks here, well, we've got Archon smoked up and ready to go into the mid lane. Doesn't look like they're going to find anyone out just yet, but, well, that could change very soon.
Most likely want to wait until daytime either, but this is very good timing here if Slicks shows himself. Well, he is not quite in range of Snowball. Yes, there he is now. There it is. Will hit. Monkey's Forever is there with an extra bit of damage. This is 2 trying to help, but Slicks, well, he will get the tornado off actually, but not enough to keep him safe. Monkey's Forever on the run out. He has Fluff as well as the Tusk on the wrong side of the map. Now 4 heroes behind the Enchantress here. Only 1 point into Untouchable. But small little critters here, healing him up for the time being. And this creep even doing some nice little AoE damage. Yeah, looks like can he even catch up to him? Moon is here now, joining the party, just throwing out a chakram. Not really giving a damn about how many are here, and now might even get sneaking here. Not quite enough damage here, as he can still morph quite a bit of strength, but it does keep Fluff alive. So they do get the Invoker, they only lose the Tusk.
Well, that's certainly a fantastic trade if you're Archon. You don't really mind giving up your Initiator Tusk because his job is trying to be the front line, jump into every fight, and you know what? Once he gets his spells off, it doesn't matter if he goes down, but the levels are not ideal here on Archon, just courtesy of the rotation. Tusk just hit 6, Enchantress is still level 4, Fluff and stuff. Spending a lot of time in lanes, but not really soaking that XP, so once that Impetus is skilled, there's going to be a lot more damage coming out on the side of the Radiant.
That's probably the reason why we see Fluff now inside the jungle, farming up a little bit, wants to get to level 6, recognizing that there's only so much that you can gain from these kind of early rotations. It's already 10 minutes in. I mean, they've taken the mid-tier 1 tower, and the bottom lane is actually also quite in peril soon here, once Jay maybe wants to go down there instead of still sticking around in the top lane here. Not really worried about anything at all. They should be able to easily finish it off too.
Looks like Templar Assassin's going to be going for a Blink first item. I think that's a fantastic pick. The mobility is going to be great against Power of Friendship, especially at nighttime when you've got a hungry Night Stalker running at your back. Having that Blink is just going to give you that much more distance and allow you to set up the fights that you want. Looks like Slicks might be in some trouble. He's going to get pinged out. There's an Invis rune bottled up by TA, so she could rotate whenever she wants, and she's dishing out a fair amount of damage, especially with that Melt Strike.
There's a ward coming down. Whitebeard sees everything that's going on. Slicks now will be the counter initiation there. Look at this ward doing so much work here. Invoker died already. Ziz and MGW, though, with the double Iron Shell, they're doing quite some work in the other direction here. They get both kills, but not before one last Nether Blast takes out a Night Stalker. So 2-for-2 trade. Still in favor of POF here, considering the way the game has been going so far. Plenty of gold going the way of the Morphling, of all people.
Yeah, that's definitely something they need, but down bottom looks like Enchantress picks herself off a tower, and Timbersaw feeling no fear going up against this Bane, who's still level 5, so there's going to be no Fiend's Grip to lock anyone down yet. I think you mentioned, yeah, overall those kills were great for Power of Friendship, but they are still definitely playing from behind. Looking at the net worth and the gold graphs, well, the net worth is over 7,500 in favor of Archon, which is a lot for 11 minutes in the game.
Absolutely. 7.5k gold, 4k experience. That's something that you can expect maybe 20 minutes in, the game goes bad, but this early, as I said, it's not exactly, not exactly a good sign. Coming in,
connecting onto Snake, and we've got Whitebeard, he's got the Walrus Punch. We're going to have Jo trying to use that life drain. Now Snake King going into the trees is going to TP and will get out just fine, but that just leaves Archon here in the lane unobjected. They're just going to go and clear the creeps and get more farm for themselves. So Power of Friendship, they've got to start rotating in and getting these key picks right away, or I think Archon's just going to snowball out of control. Literally and figuratively.
Smoking again here to find another wall. Sneaking though, he's low on everything here. Does something away from this, get it off? Yeah, he will. There's Fiend's Grip on Whitebeard in the back. Jo gives him a little bit of health before it gets silenced up, so he will have to let this Tusk go at the same time. Once more, he wants sneaking here, barely surviving to that Nether Blast here. Nightmare keeping Jo away, but now Moon coming into the frame might be able to find a couple of Timber Chains to catch up to Ziz, but it is nighttime now. 1 point up into the night, which does be alright. At the same time, they do find Fluff in the back. He has Licks with the Cold Snap. Plenty of damage into this, but now Moo finds himself nice little pinata there. Does a lot of AoE damage, not quite enough to bring anyone down. And now, Nightmare on him. Turn around perhaps, way to get sucked off by Jo. Now Slicks still looking for more here. Doesn't quite have the cooldowns to make everything work. And now Ziz finally in his element. Iron Shell plus nighttime, everyone running away from you. This is Night Stalker's dream here. A little bit late, but still coming into the game right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's what Power of Friendship need to do all the time, every single nighttime. They need to be grouped up, they need to be rotating, but at what cost here? Templar Assassin now picking up that Desolator, so that's going to be our first big item. That armor reduction is going to be absolutely awesome in an aura. Going to help out pretty much every one of the teammates, and going to help push towers very quickly, so I guess here's the question. Is this going to be a quick game or a very long game? Because Archon, well, I think they have the power to win the late game if they control the Morphling like they've been doing.
Yeah. I mean, for Archon, I would say like they don't really mind taking the blade if they can keep this kind of lead. Right? I mean, we were talking about how Park Knight kind of wanted to take tier 1 towers early, and they definitely did that. Now they can start to move on to tier 2. So even Roshan right now, with the massive amounts of mind armor that they have, from Monkeys forever with the Desolator and the Melt Strike. So this Roshan falling pretty damn quickly. POF on the wiser, and yeah, with that they should be able to take the tier 2s and close this game out very early. I still think they should be able to do well in later parts of the game, just because they do have that Enchantress, they do with the Timbersaw that can get super tanky, but they don't need to at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, Snake King and the Morphling, now he's farming, he's trying to do what he can. He does have that Perseverance, so going to be going for that Lincoln Sphere first item, and, well, slap it on the towers, but, I mean, it's a tier 1. Meanwhile, Moo in the bottom lane, going to be trying to do some damage here to MJW, but Zizzy's here. There's going to be a wall thrown out. Looks like Moo might be victim. There's going to be a Sunstrike coming through. Invoker gets the kill. Fantastic job by Slicks. And, well, now...
Yeah, fantastic timing too. He just got his Bloodstone, so that's immediately down 5 charges. But hey, at what cost? Once again, mid tier 2 is down. Yeah, Archon. Unfazed. They want to take a tier 3. Already doing quite a bit of damage here between the Desolator as well as the Nether Blast. All the while being covered up by the Nether Ward in the back. And yeah, this tier 3 might end up falling here if POF can't find an angle.
Yeah, Monkeys Forever
really
is
have
just
too many
chunking
control spells. Yeah, look, tier 3 is down, range tracks also dropping quite low, 50 minutes into the game. And another blast, couple of right clicks, should do the tricks. Lixie actually walking in, what's that pathing? He didn't want that to happen. Now, nice little back here, no wall follow up though. This punch up in the air. just chasing him away. Moose coming back into the fray here. They want to bring down another one, but it's being the grabbified now waiting once again, like so often already in this game. Caught with the ice shots, and that'll only secure the mid set of racks and the 15-minute GG.
Holy mackerel, that was a fantastic performance by Archon. They got in, they got towers, they got kills, and I mean, Power of Friendship, what were they supposed to do against that? Their gank-oriented lineup, well, it just doesn't work if you're down so far on farm, if you're so deficient on levels that you don't have ultimates by, 10 minutes in. I think this is just a great performance by Archon, and, well, a good way to introduce the NA scene.
Absolutely, yeah. I did expect a good game. Quite expect that kind of a good. I mean, I did expect a good performance from Archon, but I didn't think there would be that stomping here. 15-minute victory is something that you can write on your resume if you really want to. But hey.